Local and live. Covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Well, good morning. Dan DeDona here with the localnews1.org weekly report for Hagerstown, Chambersburg, Smithsburg, Fairfield, Waynesboro, and all the communities large and small that make up our local area. We're going to start off as we usually do with 5 things to do this weekend. This will be the Mother's Day weekend edition for the 8th of May. Starting with downtown Hagerstown Main Street, who is hosting their free art walk on May 9th, tomorrow, from from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m., and that'll be occurring throughout the city's arts and entertainment district. There'll be guided walking tours starting at 10:30 a.m. and running through 12:30 p.m. That'll include live buskers. Word of the day, buskers. I did not know this. Buskers are those people who are street performers who go out there and do all various kinds of things. So there will be live buskers along the route, an artisan marketplace at the University Plaza, and caricature drawings at Potomac Walk, and finally a coloring station at the Maryland Theater. It'll be a family-friendly event designed to highlight the area's vibrant, creative community. Second up will be the 1776 Hearth, Home, and Springtime Living History event. It'll be hosted by the Conococheague Institute, and it is designed to immerse visitors in 18th century domestic life, farming, and food traditions. It's also a free family-friendly event. It will take place from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. on Saturday, March 9th at 12995 Bain Road in Mercersburg, featuring sheep shearing, hearth cooking, blacksmithing, live music, and hands-on activities for all ages. This will be supporting educational programming that serves more than 6,000 students annually and offers a meaningful way for the community to connect with their regional history. Third item, history is taking the wheel at the Hagerstown Aviation Museum this weekend, starting on Saturday at May 9th at 9 a.m. and running through 4 p.m. The event is called the East Coast Military Vehicle Rally and is going to be featuring more than 200 vendor spaces, an array of historic military vehicles, including jeeps, trucks, and aircraft. And they'll all be on display. And there'll be a lot of opportunities. It's a flea market style event, so there'll be a lot of opportunities to get some hands-on experience with a lot of this equipment, and talk to people who are familiar with the eras in which all this equipment was employed. There are admission fees, and attendees should follow event signage upon arrival. There are additional details at hagerstownaviationmuseum.org/events. Fourth up, book lovers and bargain hunters will find plenty to explore at the 40th Annual Friends of Legal Services Book Sale. That'll be taking place over 3 days. Today, Friday, May 8th, through the 10th of May at Laird Hall on the Wilson College campus in Chambersburg. The event offers a wide selection of gently used books, CDs, DVDs, games, sheet music, and puzzles, with proceeds supporting local legal aid services. The hours are Friday from 9 a.m. until 8 p.m., Saturday from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m., and Sunday from noon until 4 p.m. You should excuse me. You should be aware that purchases are cash or check only. They will not be taking credit cards. And our fifth item of the day, Caped Crusaders, Cosmic Explorers, and Fairy Tale Favorites will take over the downtown Chambersburg area as the 4th Annual Fandom Fest returns Saturday, May 9th from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. This is inviting families and fans of all ages to celebrate their favorite characters and stories. This is a free event. Will feature artist vendors, brick building competitions, costume contests, and themed photo opportunities. The festival aims to unite fans across genres, from superheroes and dinosaurs to space adventures and fantasy worlds, while supporting local artists and offering a fun, inclusive experience for everybody in the community. Okay, those are our 5 things to do this weekend. It is Mother's Day weekend, so we're gonna start off with this. We ran an article this past week about a number of activities that are specifically focused on mothers. The list of activities is you can see the list in localnews1.org. That'll include a plant sale at the Blue Ridge Summit Library in Blue Ridge Summit, Pennsylvania, and a brunch and plant event at Backroads Greenhouse in Chambersburg, plus a number of others. The first next item would be, many of you probably know Franklin County Area Development Corporation President Mike Ross. He's a very big on developing businesses and properties throughout the Franklin County area, as the title of his organization might suggest. But he offered some thoughts on the resurgence of the TransSource power line development that has been kind of dormant now for a couple of years while TransSource faced some court challenges. Well, apparently they worked their way through that, and Mike is making it. You have to understand, as a development kind of a guy, Mike likes growth, and he likes development, but he also likes to know that when you're doing development and when you're trying to sponsor growth, there should be a fairly clear articulation of exactly what the benefits are to the local community, and he has not seen that yet. This is a guy with a practiced eye for this sort of thing, who knows how to sell it. He hasn't seen the and it doesn't have to be a sale job. It just needs to be a rational explanation. He hasn't seen that yet. As a matter of fact, he points out that the story seems to keep shifting from year to year and from month to month. It's not a good look. There are probably some benefits there. They haven't been well articulated. So he closes his thoughts by saying transmission matters. It truly does. But so does a decent explanation of the benefits to the local folks who are going to be impacted. So just a thought. Interesting piece that's in our voices section. Just in case you didn't know, we have a voices section. We invite people all the time to, if they've got a burr under their saddle, or if they've got a specific kind of an issue that they would like to address, the voices section is available for that. We do require, much like Mike did in his submission, we do require it to be civil, rational. This is not an opportunity to offer wild conspiracy theories or such. But if you got a well thought out kind of an argument that you would like to make or open a discussion, by all means, we invite you to write in, and we'll take a look at it. And if it satisfies our criteria, we'd be happy to run it. This past week, Franklin County Bridges got an upgrade along I-81 in two locations at where it intersects Route 30 up in Chambersburg, and at Route 16 in the Chambersburg area, or excuse me, in the Greencastle area. They've repaired these in the past, but right now they're doing resurfacing. They're basically fixing all the damage that occurs over a particularly tough winter this past year. I think you'd all agree. It was announced on the 3rd of May. Theoretically, they are done with those two locations. That work took place between the 4th and the 7th of May. But stay tuned. We do watch for these kinds of announcements by PennDOT and by others. Also in Washington County, we've got pretty good sources there, so that we'll be able to keep you apprised of where you're liable to encounter some traffic problems if you're out on the roads in the area. Penn State Mont Alto. We haven't heard from them in a little while. We do need to circle back to that, but they are going to be graduating 117 students today out at the Multipurpose Activity Center at 1:30. This will be concluding the next to the last year of Penn State as an arm of Penn State. There's still more questions to be answered, though. We'll circle back and we'll find out. I know there's work there. I know several of the people that are working on different facets of what's to be done with the campus in the future. We'll get back to you on that. In Washington County, the commissioners got together about a week ago and raised airport parking fees and also water fees. I think that was throughout the county. Water fees were going up by about 20%. They also assumed control of the Hancock Rescue Unit Apparently they have some this usually happens when they have some financial difficulties, so they have to go into a kind of a receivership. So the county has temporarily taken control there. They also heard an update on ICE, and they heard a framework for taxation of cannabis throughout the county. The water, I already mentioned, as you might suspect, especially since ICE was on the agenda and there was an increase in rates, it was somewhat contentious. All the usual parties were there. Kind of an interesting welcome for new Commissioner Neil Parrott, who just, I think this was his very first meeting. So welcome aboard, Mr. Parrott. Hopefully they won't all be this contentious and exciting. Washington County Commissioners also, later in the week, took up the 2027 budget. They did that on the 5th of May. The main issues have been a $355.7 million general fund, which is a little bit larger than last year. Most of that money, I can tell you for a fact from experience, most of that money goes to what they call public safety. That basically means the money goes to police and firefighters and emergency response capabilities. There are other features in there as well. Infrastructure, things wear out. So that's where a lot of that general fund really goes. A lot of other activities that they took up, so be sure you take a look at the article for more. In Greencastle's food pantry listed announced what its May distribution schedule was going to be. This is for people who need a little help with their food budget and a little extra food to feed themselves and their families. So the dates are going to be on the 7th of May, that's Thursday, from 6 to 8 p.m., Wednesday the 13th of May from 9 until noon, and again from 9 until noon on Wednesday the 20th of May. So jot those down, make sure you get in touch with them, with them early, and make sure you pick up what you need. The Franklin County Commissioners also declared May Motorcycle Safety Month. Riding bikes is fun. I rode bikes when I was substantially younger. It was a lot of fun. But I can still tell you, even back in the day, we got a lot of advice that you ought to attend motorcycle safety courses. Part of the problem is people driving vehicles generally don't expect to see a motorcycle. They look in their mirrors, they look around, they expect to see a car, and if they don't see a car and you're there, they don't necessarily see you or behave as if you're there. So there's a lot of good training that is available. As a matter of fact, some of that is provided free by PennDOT. So take a look at the article, and you can track down where you might be able to participate in some of these courses. We also had an article about spring cleaning. It's here. It's more than just dusting or cleaning out the broken limbs in your backyard. Number of other things that you ought to take a look at would include take a look at your grill, clean it up, get it ready for the summer. You have an HVAC system. Most people have HVAC systems these days of one kind or another. So this is a great opportunity to clean that up and also to replace the filters, because you're going to start getting different kinds of grit and whatnot coming through the HVAC system for the summer months. So take a look at those things. Also, if you have a fireplace, and if you haven't had it inspected, having some folks come in professionally and take a look at it, clean out the chimney, clean out the pipes, also a very good idea. PennDOT, in a good news story, is reporting that in 2025 there was a decline of traffic deaths to 1,047 over the course of the entire year. This is the lowest since they started keeping track in 1928. So excellent work. Actually, this 1,047 figure is 80 less than in 2024. They didn't go into a lot of details about exactly why that happened. Of course, they've been, PennDOT and other traffic safety organizations have been pushing the idea that you ought to be paying close attention to what's going on out there. Don't be texting. Don't do distracted driving. Certainly don't drive under the influence of anything. It's a couple $1,000-pound vehicle you're driving around at relatively high speeds. You can do some serious damage with it. So whatever it is, all you folks out there are doing, keep up the good work, because fewer people passing away as a result of a traffic accident is a really good thing for everybody. In police news, a Chambersburg man was charged with first-degree murder and stalking. A 44-year-old man by the name of Thomas Thompson was found dead in the Chambersburg area. 28-year-old Sage Morrison has been placed in custody. We don't have a whole lot more details on that, but we'll pick up more on that as that evolves, and as the police, as part of their investigation, are able to release more information to us. In Waynesboro, police are seeking 16-year-old Dion Williams, who was last seen on the 4th of May at his home at Crown Court in Waynesboro. All of you out there in the public, if you know anything about Dion, or if you've seen him any place at all, or if you saw anything happening on the day of the 4th, please get in touch with the Waynesboro police so that they can track this down and we can resolve the issue. In people news, the Hagerstown Boxcars, who have had struggled in their first couple of seasons, are really off to a strong start this year. They're 8-4 so far, and they're sitting at the top of the Atlantic League. That's a big improvement, and congratulations to everybody in the organization, especially the players, who are bringing some new enthusiasm and skills to the game. In Greencastle, graduate Ashton Botson, has finished in the top 5 twice in track this year, and has vaulted to his personal best. So congratulations to you, Ashton. Good effort. In Chambersburg, Rotary's 29th annual Trout Derby drew 454 fishermen about a week ago. They caught 473 fish out at Conococheague Creek. Big winners there were Drew Holmes, Steve Yingling, and Mitchell Dentler, all of whom won cash prizes for their performances and the sizes of the fish that they were able to land. So congratulations, gentlemen, that good effort. In Chambersburg, Wilson College named Lisa Tiffling as their Vice President of Institutional Advancement. Franklin County Commissioners announced Toya Hurley as the new administrator for the City Humanitarian Services. Chad Reichard received an honorary chapter degree from the Conococheague Future Farmers of America. He was described as being very surprised that he would get an award of that sort, and was very grateful for being honored in that way. And at the risk of being self-serving, this guy Dan DeDona, who's associated with localnews1.org, was named one of 3 newspaper heroes of the year by the Pennsylvania News Association. This was also a big surprise when he found about it. I found out about it yesterday. It's very nice that people are recognizing, more people are recognizing the work that we do, and how we're trying to see to it that everybody out there in our coverage area will be well advised about things that are going on all around you. We're serious about this. Been at it for about 5 years, and we hope more and more of you will see it. And if you like us, tell us. If you have suggestions, we're all ears. So, okay, moving on to the health section. Hagerstown's Meritus is honoring National Stroke Month by raising awareness. Most people know this, but it's worth mentioning yet another time, that strokes can be dealt with if you get to them early, but you have to be able to recognize the warning signs. So they have an acronym, BEFAST, B-E-F-A-S-T, which points out the things that you ought to be looking for, including balance. If somebody loses a balance, or if you're having difficulty focusing your eyes, if part of your face kind of hangs down, you have kind of a droopy smile or something like that. If your arm is kind of just hanging loose, or if you're having any kind of trouble slurring your speech, these are the things you look for. And the T on the very end of this is time, because the faster you recognize these things and get in touch with somebody who can help you, the better off you'll be, the better they'll be able to deal with whatever problem is causing these symptoms, and the better your recovery will be. So it's a good idea to memorize that acronym. Be fast. Also, Keystone Health has unveiled their May meal schedule. We've talked about this in the past. They identify all the locations where meals are available throughout the area, and then they publish that once a month, so that if you're in circumstances where you need to go find a meal someplace, you shouldn't go hungry. If you can lay your hands on this, it's a rather large chart. But you can probably copy it right off the screen, or you can contact the Keystone Health folks and get a copy emailed to you if you have those kind of capabilities. Times and locations are all located on a daily basis, multiple times per day in some cases. All right, one other thing, in the world of entertainment, Totem Pole has announced their summer camps will be opening from June until August. The article has more details about specific kinds of events that they'll be offering and the specific dates when those services will be available. But you do have to register, so get in touch with them. And it's really a pretty good program. We've heard nothing but good from folks who have attended. That's for youngsters. We also have local history during the week. Every Tuesday, the writings of Dargan Boy, who actually wrote about Khalil Gibran, a book that he wrote many years ago, and which he read, and it's an interesting summary of the wisdom of a fella. We're going to have property transfers hopefully here pretty soon. We have tons of sports. We have sport. As a matter of fact, sports stories led this past week by far, because there were so many things going on, and of course we're at a transition point here at this time of year, where the regular school activity schedule, sports schedule ends, and you start getting into playoffs of various kinds. So there'll be substantially more coming your way. So keep an eye on us. We are very proud to be the news source for Verstandig Media. You can see all the local news for our coverage area and our extended coverage area, which goes out as far as Mercersburg, as far north as Shippensburg, as far south as Boonesboro. You can see all of that at localnews1.org. That's all local news. We do not do national news, and we are not social media. We're a news organization. We don't do any of that social media stuff. And with that, we'll leave you with the thought of the day from the world of health. The story of a young lady who was initially told that she had type A blood, but it was a typo. Bada bing. Have a great week.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk TriState, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.